Bengals, again, they lost yesterday to the New York Jets with their backup quarterback, Mike White, not the guy that was the former mayor of Cleveland, a different Mike White from Western Kentucky in Bowling Green, Kentucky. How concerned are you with the Bengals? That's a team that beat the Ravens, beat them up, but then turned around the next week and lost to the New York Jets.
Yeah, part of that's life in the NFL, right? You can't play well every week, and you go from the Ravens and the Browns. It's a little bit of a, trap game, as we call it. But I think it does show vulnerabilities from the Bengals, and they entered this season with questions on defense, and I think they've given up plenty of points this year. But the offense is covered, has made up for that. And they had a really good game against the Ravens. But this shows you that they can be taken advantage of. Now, do the Browns have? The Browns have the talent to take advantage of, but will they? Will they execute? Will the plan be right? Will Baker play well enough to take advantage? And we saw him play well last year, right? He had the huge game in Cincinnati after a loss to Pittsburgh that helped turn the season around, after Odell got hurt early in that game. So I think it's a chance for the offense to get back on the right track. I think the Bengals give you opportunities. You can get to Joe Burrow because that line's not that good as long as you force him to hold the ball a little bit. But you have to do all those things because if you let Joe Burrow get hot, he can take over that game, and it will be tough for Baker to go throw for throw with him.
The other thing is you now have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You've got Joe Mixon. There's Tyler Boyd. This offense is a lot more like the Chargers, the Cardinals, the Chiefs than what the Browns have seen the last 2 weeks in the Broncos and the Steelers.
Oh, there's no doubt. It's way more explosive, way more dangerous. It feels like the only kind of vulnerability is that offensive line, which has improved, I think, but still is not super strong. Now, Burrow makes up for it by getting rid of the ball in a hurry sometimes. But if Miles can have a day, if Clowney can have a day, that's how you can change it. You get maybe a strip sack. You force him into a bad interception. Again, takeaways feels like the only way or the best way to stop that offense, because if you just let Burrow sit back there, he's going to pick you apart because he's got too many weapons. Now hopefully Denzel Ward will be back, and you can go Ward and Newsome and Troy Hill in the slot and Greedy Williams if you need him. We don't know about John Johnson III. It'd be nice if he could play because then you can go with your dime package. You kind of need all hands on deck in that secondary just to keep up with all the weapons that the Bengals have.
The other thing is the defense has been very uneven. When they have lost, they have given up a bunch of points.
Yeah, right. And that's, you're just looking for consistency. But when you talk about the Bengals, I like what Larry Ogunjobi, the benefit that he's brought to that front. I think he's made a big impact in the locker room and on the field. But they are vulnerable. And they have Trey Hendrickson. Again, he's a pass rusher, has helped their defense. But if you can protect Baker and run the ball and set up some things, I think you can attack the Bengals. The Vikings scored on them early. Jacksonville, I think, scored on them early. They're not an upper echelon team in the AFC, right? They look like they might have been when they beat the Ravens. I still need to see them prove it. And the way to beat them is to attack that defense because you're not going to shut down that offense all day long.
Yeah, and you know what? The Bengals are going to look at the Browns coming in like they looked at the Ravens. So you are going to be getting their best shot from a young team that wants to prove they're more like the Ravens than the Jets. So the Browns better be ready for that one.
There's no doubt. They're going to bounce back. They'll be home. It should be a great crowd. I expect the best of the Bengals, which means it's going to be an uphill climb for the Browns.